As you can see by what I have shown you, your mind is very fluid and can be easily shaped and transformed by the lies and deceptions that flow from the masters of propaganda. Those wealthiest elites who believe they own us and have the right to control every aspect of our lives and deaths, including whether our children are allowed to live. Their lies and propaganda color the world around you according to their will. Just how did they make you believe that lying, psychopathic, serial-killing doctors are protecting and caring for you, and that you should place 100% of your trust in them? How did they get you to give up control of your body and the ability to medicate yourself as you wish and keep yourself alive? How do they make you believe that the most powerful and safest medicine on the planet, cannabis, is deadly and has no medicinal value? The answer is simple. Massive propaganda campaigns spread by school and college curriculums, through TV shows and advertisements, through false statistics, lying experts, and the brutal enforcement of one uniform story about right and wrong. This story was constructed by the wealthiest elites in order to parasitically exploit the masses for maximum power and profit. Instead of acting from religion, morality, and ethics, these elites are solely interested in sickening and slaughtering us by the millions in order to amass even more wealth and power. But in the last century, their techniques of indoctrination and mind control would have never gained more than partial control of the masses. Now, however, they have almost achieved total control of the masses. Let me show you how they plan to control every single thought in your mind and every action you take, manipulating you into anything their deranged minds can come up with. Imagine a world in which every thought and action is totally and absolutely controlled by the state. In this world, the behavior of all groups of people in any situation can be accurately predicted using complex computer models or algorithms. The state then uses these algorithms to know what events to generate to make a group respond in a desired way. For example, someone might release a story in state-controlled media to manipulate financial markets, or to create food shortages or inflation, etc. Because these events appear random and people's reactions seem reflexive, individuals in a group have no idea that they're being controlled. Because these events appear random and people's reactions seem reflexive, individuals in a group have no idea that they're being controlled. To make certain that the created events have the intended result, the state carefully monitors the reaction of a group in real time. If members are not responding exactly as desired, new events can be created to adjust their behavior. With careful monitoring and adjustments, a group can be manipulated into any desired behavior without their ever being aware that anyone is controlling them. A group can be manipulated into any desired behavior without their ever being aware that anyone is controlling them. Fiction? No. This is the system that is currently being built by the NSA to understand the infinite power of humanity that the US government gains with the NSA data. We must first explore the very heart of the NSA system, a type of computer called a data warehouse. A data warehouse is nothing more than a powerful supercomputer that has vast storage space for data, as well as special software to analyze that data. Within all data, in our shopping receipts or medical records, in emails, phone logs, text messages, arrest records, diplomatic correspondence, etc., are patterns. One uses a data warehouse to do 4 things. Identify groups based on unique patterns that belong only to members of the group. Use these patterns to identify all members of a group. Identify the behavior of the members of each group, and use the knowledge of a group's behavior to manipulate them to do something. An excellent example to show how all this functions is the case of a pregnant teen whose pregnancy was revealed to her father when he opened a letter from Target with coupons for pregnant women. Let us look at how this happened by examining how Target's data warehouse system worked. First, Target identified groups they wanted to manipulate to buy items from their store. For the group pregnant women, it worked as follows according to Target statistician Andrew Pohl. Pohl ran test after test, analyzing the data from women who were on the baby registry. And before long, some useful patterns emerged. Lotions, for example. Lots of people buy lotion, but one of Pohl's colleagues noticed that women on the baby registry were buying larger quantities of unscented lotion around the beginning of their second trimester. Another analyst noted that sometime in the first 20 weeks, pregnant women loaded up on supplements like calcium, magnesium, and zinc. In this example, the group pregnant women were studied by using the baby registry to find purchasing patterns that were unique to pregnant women. Once these unique patterns were found, this information was then used to find other women who also belonged to the pregnant women group, but who were not in the baby registry. By analyzing the items bought by women on the registry, Target knew what coupons to send to both the registered and non-registered pregnant women. These coupons were designed to manipulate manipulate pregnant women's behavior so they would come into Target and buy particular items. This is a classic, beautifully designed data warehouse, and this is exactly the system the NSA is currently building. So far, in the news, discussions of the NSA system have focused on how the system can be used to identify members of a specific group. For example, terrorists. We also know from recent disclosures that the NSA database is being used by America, the DEA, to find people who are dealing in illegal substances. Thus, we already have all of the major components of a data warehouse in place. Let us look at what the NSA system is really capable of. The IRS now has access to credit card data, e-purchase records, eBay purchases, etc. This data is no different from the type that Target used to find pregnant women, except the US government is looking at every single purchase and payment an individual has made and analyzing every payment platform that person had access to. Thus, the NSA has a vastly deeper set of data to study a person's patterns than Target or Walmart. Add to this data the content of every email we have ever written, all Facebook posts and pictures, every text message we have ever sent, every keyword we have ever spoken on the phone. In addition, they have full access to the records of every license plate and facial recognition camera, to all cell phone GPS location data, to all tax and bank data, etc., etc., etc. You can begin to see how vast and wide the NSA's information collection is from everyone, making even Target's data collection seem minor by comparison. Every aspect of our lives, where we go, who we talk to, what we buy, where we search on the web, is observed and controlled by the elite puppet masters. Privacy has become a thing of the past. Once groups of interest are identified by the NSA can study the data of the members to identify their unique patterns. Using these patterns, they can then identify any members of that group that they did not already know about. With the NSA's vast data collection, even the most subtle patterns can be discovered, making it impossible for members to keep anything private. Once group members are identified by their unique patterns, the NSA supercomputer can then begin studying how the group behaved. For example, after the government releases the latest job statistics, the NSA can study all the emails of conservatives, moderates, and liberals to learn how each group responds to the numbers. It would be easy, with the NSA's vast data, to create a computer program to analyze world events and their effects on people in various countries. Over time, unique patterns of behavior will emerge for groups that will enable the computer to create algorithms that can predict their behavior. Considering the accuracy of the target system, the NSA system, with vastly more data at its disposal, would possess incredible precision and accuracy. With this information, manipulation of the masses is just a keystroke away. It takes vast time and resources to search through a data warehouse as large as the NSA's. Even with the powerful supercomputers that the NSA has, it could take weeks or months to find all the data for a single individual. To solve this problem, a secondary data warehouse computer must be created that uses a unique identifying criteria, such as a social security number, to create a data record for every citizen in the United States. A powerful, massive computer system then trolls through the vast NSA data, and every time any information on an individual is found, it is assigned a special identifier and associated with that person's record. For example, the supercomputer can easily note any medical cannabis patient who has bought grow equipment and supplies to treat their illness. In addition, it can access all the bank, phone, and electric records for these patients. These multiple entries in the main database can then be replaced by a single entry in the secondary database with the name of the group of people who share these special identifiers. Cannabis grower, dealer, small time. Thousands of possible groups could be created by the NSA computer system, and thus every aspect of a person's existence can be easily cataloged and searched in a few megabytes of data instead of yottabytes of data. To learn every detail of a person's life, all you have to do is enter their identifying criteria into the system. Since the NSA has been actively collecting data on foreign nationals for years, they probably also have databases for all foreign nationals who are deemed of interest, politicians, corporate leaders, activists, etc. And of course, it is likely that somewhere in their vast system there is a small, tiny secondary data warehouse, a fraction of the size of all the others, that actually contains possible terrorists. But anti-terrorism protection was certainly not their reason or priority for building this system. Does a world leader want the people in a foreign country to revolt against their government? By using the information collected from the NSA supercomputer, one need only look at the data of the people in that country, find those groups who are radical, and identify what events will cause these individuals to revolt against their government. From the information contained in the Snowden documents, we know that the U.S. is collecting vast data on people in the Middle East. It is likely that this data may have been used to identify the events necessary to create an Arab Spring. In the near future, it will be possible for powerful countries like the United States, with their vast data warehouse capabilities, to secretly manipulate foreign populations to turn against their own governments. To protect themselves, countries will need to create secure internal internet sites for their citizens and secure connections to the world internet outside their country. This is similar to the intranets currently used in corporations. Without such systems, countries will risk their populations being manipulated by foreign entities. It is likely that China maintains strict control over its internet not just for propaganda purposes, but to prevent manipulation of its population by foreign powers. It is also certain that both China and Russia, and every other powerful nation, are building NSA types of databases. Once computers become powerful enough to actually monitor the internet in real time, governments can use such a system to know exactly what their citizens are thinking before they act on those thoughts. In this way, when citizens are thinking in the correct way, in the way that wealthy elites want us to think, then events can be created to reinforce that behavior. When citizens are thinking in an incorrect way, the government can manipulate people away from such thoughts before they even act on them. It is likely that computers powerful enough to do this are just coming into existence. This is likely to be the real reason why China and the US are competing to create the most powerful supercomputers in the world. This description barely scratches the surface of the full capacity of such a data warehouse system. Yet clearly, any freedom-loving citizen would not tolerate such a tyrannical system. If the world's governments and citizens do not wake up soon and realize the consequence to humanity of such a vast, unchecked system like the NSA's, soon a new form of warfare will ensue that will be far worse than anything ever imagined. It is likely that this message, if it does get to the masses, will be the last one able to do so. Soon, such messages will be stopped long before anyone ever sees them, and the wealthiest elites will have complete control over us and our lives, from cradle to death. The most powerful propaganda is not the information that the elites feed into the minds of the masses, but the information that is withheld from the minds of the masses. Ignorance of the truth is the most powerful tool to control the human mind. When you don't know about something, it does not even exist as a possibility in your mind, and you are blind to it even when it is in front of you. Even when Hollywood celebrities like Fran Drescher are misdiagnosed 8 times, it still doesn't occur to us that the doctors are lying to us and falsifying our test results. Instead, our minds have been brainwashed into believing that the doctors are just incompetent. Thus, it has been easy to hide information from you. The propagandists are able to get away with this because, naively, we gave doctors our trust, just as we have blindly trusted bankers, priests, politicians, medical researchers, etc., all to our detriment. It is this blind trust that has allowed the wealthiest elites to exploit and slaughter us for decades, when treatments and cures for everything from cancer to stroke to cerebral palsy to Alzheimer's were right in front of our eyes and would have saved millions of lives. We cannot afford to be naive any longer. Too much is at stake. We must take a stand and demand that our leaders start respecting human life and end the slaughter of our innocent children. People mistakenly believe that the information on websites like Google, Wikipedia, YouTube, and Facebook are uniquely protected and are incorruptible. Actually, every web page you see on these websites is nothing more than a collection of data stored in a gigantic database. The web page that you use to update and view your Facebook page, Wikipedia, etc. is nothing more than an interface into that database. While these web pages are designed for the average user, a computer programmer can access the data directly with a portal, a user ID and password, and a diagram of the structure of the database. Using this information, with just a few keystrokes, I could insert a 5-year history of changes into Wikipedia. I could add a new video onto YouTube with 4 million supposed likes, and place it at the top of the chart so everyone sees it and watches it. I could create a Facebook page with 1 million likes and use that fake account to focus advertising to a certain group of people. I could go into Google and create filters that remove from the search results all internet pages with the words infant and cancer. With a portal, user ID, and password, I can do anything I want. And you know there is no question that Google, Wikipedia, YouTube, Facebook, Yahoo, etc. have either already given governments a portal, password, and user ID and the structure of their databases, or the governments have hacked their way in and taken this information themselves. In other words, these websites are based on databases that are totally fluid and can be transformed into anything anyone desires if they have access to the system. If those who run the system know about this and agree to it, then they can control every single thing on the internet by carefully monitoring monitoring how people search and move through the internet. They can carefully control every single byte of information that a person sees and doesn't see. As a matter of fact, the very purpose of monitoring your movement through the internet, whether by an individual company within their own website or by the government within the entire internet, is to control the flow of information and the movement of people through that information. In the old days, the books that were published contained the truth about the time in which they were written. To destroy such truth, tyrants would have to burn all copies of these books. Thus, when Hitler or any despot took power, they always began with the burning of books. Fortunately, because there were so many books, some always escaped the flames, and truth lay hidden all about. The control of information is the entire focus of any totalitarian state. With the internet, destroy the truth of the past. All one has to do is search out all locations where truth resides and either delete it wholesale or remove it from the search engines. Either way, when all information comes from just one source, the internet, then a truth can vanish forever with just a few keystrokes. There are no more books to burn, no more books to miss the flames. Click, 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 and history is rewritten into whatever the elites want it to be. This is 1984. The elites have succeeded. They now control every thought in your head and everything that you think is true. They monitor your every move through the internet, carefully cataloging you into different groups and observing your behavior to learn how to better manipulate you. They watch how you respond to their manipulation to see where you deviated from their expected responses, then manipulate again, observe again, manipulate, until they have refined their system into one that can control every thought that comes into your head. It is a system that has resulted from a century of mind control experimentation, conducted by everyone from the Nazis to the CIA, all flowing into the internet to create the first totally controlled human population in the history of the world. So easy, so simple, and we all happily went along with it. If you are a constant user of the internet, your mind is theirs. They control it completely. Everything that flows in and out of your mind flows in and out of their computers, carefully analyzed, studied, cataloged, and then used against you to control your next thought and move through the internet. You are not human anymore, just a mere extension of a vast network that monitors and controls you from conception to death. Wake up! Wake up! Only an actual physical book, made of paper in your hands, is something you can count on. Only a fellow human being standing directly in front of you, into whose eyes you can look, is real. Only God can tell you truth. We have reached the height of rationalistic atheism, the cult of science, and it has given the world mass slaughter, total mind control, and stripped us of our humanity, our dignity, our freedom, our self-sufficiency. This is progress? No, it's tyranny. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up. Take back your life now. Free yourself from their control. Break free of the internet for periods of time and return to being human. Eat dinner with someone you love without any electronic devices disturb you. Focus your attention only on each other. Have they addicted you to their machine so they can suck the soul out of you? Do they own you, my friend? I challenge you to make one day of every week a no electronics day. No phones, no computers, no iPads, no TVs, no electronics of any kind. If you are religious and your religion has a Sabbath, then make that day the no electronics day. For everyone else, just pick a day. Shut off everything at sunset the day before, and do not turn anything back on until sunset the next day. Can you survive that long without any electronic devices? If the answer is no, then they have addicted you, and they own you, controlling every thought in your mind. Are you now hungering to return to their universe, where they monitor your every move, hide the truth from you, and feed you lies? Come, my friend, return to the world of God. Connect to other people face to face. Go out into nature without your electronics. Go to your places of worship. Seek out God everywhere, and avoid what takes you away from Him: the internet, video games, TV, etc. Learn how to talk face to face again without constant interruptions from the machines. Go to a place of worship and talk to God, to the One. Show the puppet masters that they do not control you, that you have free will and you can break yourself from their machines. What would happen if we all started returning to places of worship and started praying or meditating again? Hear me. The internet is fluid and controlled by the puppet masters, but they still cannot stop you from spreading the words to others. Not yet, but soon. Already, no news agency will print the story of Shyloh. They control the news. No lawyer will take the case of Shyloh. They control the legal system. No police officer will protect Shyloh. They control the police. No hospital will see Shyloh without murdering her. They control our lives and deaths. Do they control you yet? Only you, the individual, can tell this story by sharing it with your family, friends, and everyone you know, as every single system of recourse is now corrupt. Soon, even a video such as this will be carefully monitored and quickly shut down. In 2 years, maybe 3. After that, a message like this will be quickly stopped. It's coming. This may be the last message humanity ever hears that contains truth. Be free, my brothers and sisters. The Lord loves all of you. Turn back to him, and you will not be afraid anymore. Return to your temples, churches, synagogues, mosques, to all of your places of worship, and be with him, the One. For in who else can we truly trust?